Hello, my name is Luis Arroyo, and I am a science specialist in the Boston Public Schools. In this video, I'm going to give you an overview of the Motion and Design Unit, concept number 2, lessons 3 to 5. The main concept for this particular video is the following. The position and motion of an object may be changed by a force, such as pushing or pulling. So in lesson number 2, the students built the standard vehicle, which should look like this. In lesson number 3, the students are going to test the effects of force on the vehicle. They are going to do this by building a falling weight system. These are the instructions for the falling weight system. These are located in the teacher's guide as well as the student's book in lesson number 3. Before you do this and before you start teaching this lesson, you will need to prepare a set of hooks from paper clips attached to a piece of string 39 inches long. Again, you will need to prepare this before the beginning of class, and you will need a set of this for every group of students so that they can set up the falling weight system and pull their vehicle. In addition to the hooks, you will need the bookend, and you will need to use the washers. Preferably, you will have a flat surface. Rectangular or square table will work just fine. You will have to have an area where the washers could be set on the hook so that the washers will pull the vehicle towards the edge of the table as the washers pull the paperclip down to the floor. At the end of the lesson, in the teacher's guide, you will find this handout. This is record sheet 3A, which is the handout the students will use to record all of their data. You have the 2-washer trial, you have the 4, 8, and the 16 washer trial. The students will write their observations in this section and then rate the ranking of the speed of the trials. At the end of class, you can have a discussion with the students, and they should be fairly clear as to what a force is. They should also understand that to move a vehicle at rest, a force is required. The same to change the motion of the vehicle, to slow down or to stop a vehicle, a force is required. Lesson 4 usually takes me about 2 periods to complete. Testing the motion of vehicles carrying a load. Students test how adding a load to their vehicles affect their motion. Special note here, the students will need to use the timers for this lesson. This is something that always throws a little kink into the lesson. A lot of students do not know how to use timers. They've never used them, or sometimes the timers have bad batteries that need to be changed. So you have to make sure that before you start the lessons, all the timers work, and before you start the lesson, officially have the students become somewhat proficient with the timers. Otherwise, they will struggle and they will not be able to complete the task. For lesson 4, the students will be working with this handout. They will be filling out the different bubbles with different color crayons. Now, the difference between this lesson and the previous lesson is that in this lesson, the amount of force will remain the same. In lesson number 3, the student kept added different numbers of washers and changed the amount of force. Lesson number 4, that doesn't happen. The amount of force stays the same. The only thing that changes is the amount of load on the vehicle. The students will have to use these wooden blocks placed on the vehicle like this. and using the timers that will record how long it takes the vehicle to move across the table. Again, this is a lesson that takes me about 2 class periods to complete. It can be somewhat frustrating for some of the students. At the end of class, here are some of the questions that you can ask. What affected the motion of the vehicle? What effect did the load have on the motion of the vehicle? Now in lesson 5, the students have a design challenge. Designing vehicles to meet requirements. Student build a vehicle to meet design specifications. This is what the design challenge looks like. The student will be required to modify their standard vehicle in a way that it can carry the 2 blocks across the table, but they will have a time requirement. They have to be able to do this. The vehicle has to move the distance of the table across the table from 4 to 6 seconds. Anything beyond that, anything below that, then they do not meet the challenge, and they usually have about 30 seconds. I find that personally that 30 seconds might be a little bit too long because my class periods are only 45 minutes long. Sometimes I actually have to cut that last requirement a little and either give them 25 or 25 or 20 minutes, depending on the class. Here are some examples of some of the discussions that you can have with the class at the end of the lesson. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again on the following video.